What is going on YouTube? Hayden here, and in today's episode we are going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Solana, as well as Bitcoin, VONG, which is the Russell 1000, and the S&P 500. I actually think we're making a lot of progress over the past couple of days. Today is only Wednesday, hump day, and we have a couple of days left this week. We got Thursday and Friday, and then the week in which we will probably see crypto go dormant again. But what's interesting is over the past couple of days, we've been slowly confirming major supports and major resistances, new technical indicators. And this is good news because this could ultimately lead us into a price pump that we've all been so patiently waiting for here. Now, like I said, we are going to be looking at XRP. And as you guys know, if you haven't already, we've been making a video yesterday talking about how history is going to be repeating itself because we have formed what appears to be two descending fractals or pennant flags, whatever you want to call it, bull flag formations here, which should ultimately break bullish. The first one beautifully exploded to the upside on XRP. Now we're forming the second one, and that's what we're waiting for, which should inevitably happen fairly soon. Hopefully, you guys are ready to take advantage of that. You can see it clearly pulled up here on XRP, and we are now almost ready to confirm closure of this beautiful second wave of bull flag formation here. Once we get that confirmation, we should be able to see a solid rebound, as I very much so believe. Moving average, support, uptrend should all come into play here, and we should pop. We should rally to the upside, which would be incredible if you ask me. Now, beyond XRP, we are going to look at these other cryptos, which are all slowly heading to the upside here. This almost looks like a triple top on Ethereum here, something that I don't want to be too worried about, but it is certainly something to keep on the radar here as we have not broken through that. We're going to look at Solana's uptrend here, which looks excellent. Ethereum, we talked about here. Bitcoin is on the up and up, but we're forming some new interesting patterns. VONG looks absolutely excellent. We'll talk about that in a minute. Same thing with the S&P 500 as we are starting to notice some new uptrends here, some higher low patterns, which should ultimately yield us some positive returns. But with that being said, smash that like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's get right into today's episode. I want to give a huge shout out to DOGEALTCOIN for sponsoring today's episode. As with all cryptocurrency projects and platforms, please do your own research and never invest anything you can't afford to lose. So guys, I want to talk to you about DOGEALTCOIN, a new crypto project and continued sponsor here on the channel that lately is being viewed as a sort of evolution of Dogecoin. Some are even calling it Doge 2.0. The project has already raised over $600,000, which is impressive at this early stage. And what first caught my attention was their Twitter account. And this surprised me because they're actually being followed by Elon Musk himself. That alone made me dig deeper. Looking over their roadmap, it's clear they're making steady progress, and with each new phase, more investors are joining in. To put it in perspective, let's think about Dogecoin. Back in the day, Doge was trading for fractions of a penny. If you had bought in early and held on, your returns could have been over 1,000 times your original investment. While past performance doesn't guarantee future results, as we all should hopefully know, DOGEALTCOIN is showing early signals that have many investors paying close attention. I also explored their dashboard. It's intuitive and offers everything in one place. Live charts, a built-in referral program, and a straightforward buying process. You can use tokens like Ethereum, USDT, and quite a lot more to participate, which makes getting involved really accessible. Now, on the social media side, they're building a solid presence and foundation. Their Twitter is gaining followers fast, and their profile on Twitter Score shows strong engagement with not just Elon, but other notable figures also following the project. Currently, they're in their first round of their token sale, which means the price is at its lowest. Only 1% of the total supply is available right now. So there is potential, but again, always do your research before investing, especially in the crypto space. Never, and I mean never, put in more than you can afford to lose. There's definitely potential here, but like any new project, there are risks involved. If you're curious though to learn more or want to get involved, head on over to DOGEALTCOIN and take a look for yourself, as I will link them down in the description below. Otherwise, shout out again to DOGEALTCOIN for sponsoring today's episode, and let's get back into the technical analysis. So guys, to dive right into the technical analysis, you can see the current coin market cap reveals that we are pretty much consolidating for today. 68 on the Fear and Greed Index, nothing to write home about here. And for the most part, we are just consolidating sideways. Sideways movement here, sideways movement on Ethereum, XRP, not really seeing much movement. BNB maybe is the only crypto that's seeing some sort of pump, but over the past week, you can see nothing besides BNB is really doing anything, especially past 24 hours. Nothing is really happening that's spectacular. This new crypto, hyper liquid, seems to be doing well, but the blue chip cryptos, the top 10, nothing's really happening. Volume is slowly and steadily trading sideways. You can actually see it looks like we're almost starting to yield a negative here. We're starting to consolidate down. But for the most part, you can see we've been pretty much trading around the same place we were since the beginning of, I would say, about a week ago. We've been consolidating the same week. If I zoom out, you can see we're back in a more neutral level here on the, the past couple of months here. We're talking about, this past year. We ended it in December into January, and we're right around that same volume right now. But for the most part, we are consolidating for the most part here. And diving right into the technical analysis here, you can clearly see we are forming a bull flag formation. If I zoom closer in on the 4-hour, you can see even more so that history is repeating itself, like I explained in yesterday's episode here. We have a beautiful lower high constricting consolidative pattern here, closing at resistance here. We confirmed closure above it and exploded to the upside. History obviously repeating for the second time. It doesn't get any more obvious than this. Beautiful rally up, consolidation down, lower high, lower low, slowly starting to fill in the gap, getting constricted between a rock and a hard place, this moving average, this support. And as we start to constrict, as volume tightens, which you can see volume certainly has gone down, we are going to be left making a decision here, and hopefully one in our favor that leads to a rally. As you guys can see, we're trading below moving average just like we were in the past here, and almost everything looks identical in regards, even on the 4-hour, to what we were trading on in the past here. So very good chance we should see an explosive run like this, that second bull flag rally that we should be seeing on XRP. The worry that you guys were saying is like, oh, we're out of this bull flag at this moment here, out of the head and shoulders pattern on XRP. It's possible for sure. It certainly could be possible, but I'm not going to count it out. I'm not going to rule it out yet, because we are nearing a market where the market should be turning into a bear market fairly soon. We haven't gotten anywhere near those all-time highs, so there's a good chance this could be the second wave, and then we see correction. There's almost always a second wave, a second rally within these cryptos, and then they kind of consolidate back down. As you guys can see, look at the past here, the previous rallies. This is 2017, rally up, we come back down. But for the most part, we do see ups, highs and lows. Same thing here, look, rally up, we come crashing down. We hit a price of $1.95 back in 2021, crash down to, 50 cents here, and then go all the way back up to $1.40. This, honestly, to me, is no different than where we're at now. Exploded all the way up to $3.40, crashed all the way down to $1.60. We went all the way back up to possibly $2.70, and eventually we should continue down. That's what we're looking for. And you can clearly see the support here that is slowly starting to say, hey, this is it. You can see it. It's a very obvious and clear, subtle consolidative pattern here. In my opinion, a head and shoulders pattern that, if confirmed, which it very well could be, even if we do see another rally, we'll just extend it a little bit further. And that would then confirm that second shoulder here, and that you can see shoulder, head, shoulder, neckline. Maybe we see another rally, then we come back down, we breach support, and then we're going to tank and swing to the downside here, which is what I think is going to actually happen to XRP. But that's just my opinion. I do think maybe we have one last potential pump, and then I think it's going to be, down from there. Now, as for other cryptocurrencies like Solana here, you can see, interesting enough, aside from XRP showing signs of reversal here, I believe like these other cryptos also show positive momentum, like positive movements here. Very good chance we should reverse off Solana as well on the 4-hour and head up. You can see we are consolidating here on this moving average, and it should hopefully allow us to head even higher. If I jump to the daily, you can kind of see we're in a little interesting little pattern going on here. Might even be able to extend this to include what we're dealing with right now, but you can kind of see there's some sort of descending fractal, which typically ends bullish. So it really depends on how we react with this support. But for the most part, I do think we look overall fairly nice. I do think we are due to see a possible run. Like there's certainly potential to see that take place on Solana here. Ethereum looks similar. There is a triple top here, which is a little odd, but for the most part, we are on the up and up. We have a very nice bullish cross here. We just started to, extend out, create a new higher low pattern outside of a major bearish downtrend that's been on us since January or December of 2024. So we finally popped out of it right here. And you can see what has it caused? It's caused the rally to the upside. You can see we are very much so hitting a very solid problem resistance zone. But if we manage to consolidate, which is exactly what we're doing right here, the more we consolidate here, the lower we get, we should be able to build up enough steam to break through it. Anything can happen on the 4-hour charts, but that's what we're looking for. That's what I'm looking for here. We look good on Bitcoin's chart as well. Nothing really standing out that much. It's a little bit worrisome. I think I would put Xrp on the bottom of the list for things to trade. It would definitely be Xrp, Solana, Ethereum, and then maybe Bitcoin in last place. So it's a little bit harder to gauge what to expect within Bitcoin. But what I'm really excited about is the Russell 1000 and the S&P. As you know, correlation isn't always causation, but the way the Russell 1000 and the stock markets have been moving are very much so similar with Vong and apparently the stock market as well. So there's a good chance that when we see these stock market or the commodities rally, there's a very good chance we're going to see everything, including crypto, rally. And as you guys can clearly tell, we have obviously one of two things, possibilities, but what we've noticed is a higher low pattern. We've noticed a new uptrend taking place, and hopefully we can continue that and extend upwards here. All we need to do is breach this little itsy bitsy white resistance level. And if we could break through this, sky's the limit. We'll see a very, very, very solid pump. If we reject, which you can see, we have pretty much, we're going to find a result probably next week. If we reject this, we will crash. If we don't, we should see, even higher run. And I do believe we're probably more bullish than bearish at this point. I do believe also with the stock market, we should be able to continue to ascend higher. But that is going to be it for today's video, guys. Definitely make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe. Make sure to check out Doge Altcoin, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.